5 DVD box sets of television, more television than I could ever possibly watch in my lifetime. But I have watched a fair amount of it, and I have to tell you, these are some pretty good shows for the most part. Starting off with my favorite of the bunch is Parker Lewis Can't Lose, the complete second season, which I'm very happy to see. I was extremely excited when Shout Factory released the first season of Parker Lewis last year, and I was hoping that it would sell well enough for them to come back and release the next season, because I want to get this whole series on DVD. It's a really fun, enjoyable comedy that is basically the television version of Ferris Bueller's Day Off that was not the actual television version of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This show was a much better version of Ferris Bueller on TV than the actual Ferris Bueller TV show was. It's a funny comedy. It holds up fairly well. The early 90s style and haircuts certainly do have an impact, but I look at it as a snapshot of when I was a 15-year-old, and I got to tell you, I really do love this show. This box set, 4 discs, 25 episodes. The only extra features are some audio commentaries with cast and crew, but that's better than a lot of catalog TV shows get these days, so I'm not complaining. Next up, we have Big Love, the complete 3rd season. This is a big HBO box set, and boy, HBO knows how to make a nice-looking box set. I'll tell you what, though, Big Love is a really, really good show. I think a lot of people don't watch this show because it's on HBO, and I happen to be one of them. I only watch the show when it comes out on DVD, as I don't subscribe to any pay channels, but this is definitely one of those shows that's worth watching if you get the chance. It's worth picking up on DVD. Bill Paxton is at his best. He's got a great surrounding cast. Jean Triplehorn, Chloe Sevigny. If I said that right, I have no idea. Jennifer Goodwin, Harry Dean Stanton, and a pretty good number of guest stars that you'll probably recognize as you go through the series. But it's a really interesting show about polygamy, and that doesn't necessarily seem to be everyone's cup of tea right off the bat, and I can understand that. But it's a more interesting show than you might give it credit for. It doesn't ever try to be controversial or hot-button topics, even though there certainly are aspects of it that do fit those categories. It's really a family drama that just happens to have a few extra family members in it. So if you haven't watched it, you probably want to start at the beginning. It'll make a lot more sense, but it is a really good show to pick up. In terms of bonus features, you do get an interesting thing called Their Stories So Far, which are intimate direct-to-camera videos, as they're called on the box, from Bill, Barb, Nikki, and Margene. And these are kind of like testimonials from the characters told from the perspective of the characters and kind of catching you up on where things have been. I believe they aired on HBO during the off-season. And they're pretty neat to watch, and they're good if you are picking up a show for the first time. In addition, there's the 3 Past Midnight mini-dramas, which are also really interesting. I know these aired on the channel, or I believe on the website, and they're kind of like, basically like webisodes, like what you see for Battlestar Galactica or Lost, and they're told within the purview of the series, and they deal with polygamy, and they're actually pretty interesting and worth watching if you're a fan of the show. Next up, we have Thirtysomething, the complete 2nd season. Now, Thirtysomething is a really quality show, and I won't say anything other than that about it. But like I said in my review of Season 1, I find it to be incredibly close to real life. A little too much so. It's almost disturbing in a way how much it mirrors the actual things that go on in people's lives in their 30-somethings, which makes it a little bit of a downer for me. It kind of fails on the escapism level that I look for my television, and it hits too close to home. Not that I have the situations a lot of these families are dealing with, but between people that I know and friends and kind of the general social circle, a lot of the stuff that gets covered in this TV show has happened in and around my life, and it gets to be a little bit heavy from time to time. That being said, it's an incredibly realistic portrayal of people in their 30s, and if you like real good drama television, you certainly can't go wrong with this one. The box set is a really nice box set from Shout Factory. It includes a 16-page color booklet. You also get new cast interviews as well as commentaries with the cast and the show's creator and the showrunners. So it's a really great package. If you're a fan of the show, I can see why. It just isn't entirely my cup of tea. Finally, we come down to 2 releases from Warner Brothers, and they are kind of competing 12th seasons of shows. That is ER, the complete 12th season, and Dallas, the complete 12th season. Both of these are shows that I've only really ever watched on DVD. I've never gotten into watching either of them when they were on television. Dallas is a little before my time, airing when I was a pretty young kid, and then ER, obviously only having wrapped up recently, which is never my cup of tea in terms of watching it regularly. High-quality show, ER, that I like. A lot of the cast members, some really good gripping drama, but I'm a little too squeamish to get into a medical drama every single week. I find that I don't always deal with the medical aspects of the show particularly well. JR, on the other hand, JR of Dallas, of course, is always worth watching, even if it's on DVD. Even after all this time, it's still a pretty fascinating show, just in terms of the pure soap opera-ness of it, and Larry Hagman's JR being one of the most fascinating characters on television in any time period. This season 12 sees him in jail and doing all sorts of crazy things, and it's an interesting show to watch. Dallas was certainly very popular, and I can kind of see why, even if it's a little bit ham-fisted and a little over the top, and well, it's a lot over the top, but it's certainly an interesting show. Both of these are very nice box sets that include every episode from the seasons. Dallas doesn't include anything in the way of extra features. That's nothing new. Fans of the show are used to it by now, as the box sets have pretty much all been devoid of extra features. And ER Season 12 comes with the exact same extra features we've been getting for the past several years. You get a collection of outtakes and unaired scenes. The outtakes are the unaired scenes, actually. So these are ones for the diehard fans. If you haven't watched either show before now, I can't imagine you're going to start with Season 12. But if you do, of course, you will at least get some entertaining television.